So Senator Lindsey Graham has threatened to annihilate our actual allies in Europe if they don't stand by our supposed greatest ally, Israel. Watch this.
So to any ally, Canada, Britain, Germany, France, if you try to help the ICC, we're going to sanction you.
Well, that means I want every ally. And you saw little Justin in Canada and his position. What should the penalty be?
We should crush your economy because we're next.
I mean, this is outrageous. So he's threatening to crush the economies of our actual allies. So our actual allies in Europe, you know, the ones that have NATO agreements with us, the ones that actually send troops to help fight in our wars, right? The ones that actually we trade with. And he's saying, we're going to crush you if you attempt to arrest Netanyahu or Gallant per the ICC's arrest warrant. If you actually implement that, we will crush your economy. You will not be an ally to us if you go against a foreign Middle Eastern country. I mean, think about this. This isn't just, if you arrest George W. Bush, the war criminal, who now the ICC has put an arrest warrant out for, which they haven't. But if they did, you could see that maybe Lindsey Graham would get on TV and say, if you dare come after us and actually arrest us, and we're not allies anymore, and we're going to crush your economy. But he's talking about a foreign Middle Eastern country. He's talking about leaders from a foreign country. And he's threatening our actual allies. He's threatening annihilation, economic annihilation, if they don't stand with Israel. I mean, this is the United States of Israel. I mean, obviously, we've been completely taken over. We've been completely hijacked. There's no other way to explain it. This is absurd. This is lunacy. Now, Israel, you might say, is our greatest ally, Kim. How? Explain to me exactly how they're our ally. What is it about Israel that makes them our greatest ally? Have they ever supplied a single troop to any of our many endless wars? No, not once, not ever. They never have. The one thing they did one time was send orange juice, literal orange juice, to South Korea during the Korean War. That was it. So they've never supplied us with any troops for any of our wars. When we were hit after 9/11 and the United States went on a rampage around the Middle East, Israel did not supply a single troop. That is just the reality of it. So they're not a military ally, really. And then you say, well, but they operate as a military base for us in the Middle East. No, they don't. We have actual military bases in Iraq, in Saudi Arabia. We have actual military bases all over the Middle East. Israel, we don't need Israel to act as our military base in the Middle East. We got them everywhere. What are you talking about? We're literally all over the place. So they're not our greatest they're not our outpost in the Middle East. We have plenty of those. So then maybe you say, well, but they're our greatest Middle Eastern ally. If it weren't for Israel, then we wouldn't, the Middle East, they're our greatest ally. Okay. No, actually, they're not. Saudi Arabia, whether you like it or not, actually is more of our ally when it comes to the Middle East than Israel. Saudi Arabia has more power. The petrodollar, the whole entire thing, keeping up the U.S. economy, the fact that every country in the world was forced to buy oil using U.S. dollars, keeping the U.S. dollar strong. That was done with Saudi Arabia's help. That wasn't Israel. Our economy was staying strong because oil was in demand around the world, and Saudi Arabia and the United States did a deal that Saudi Arabia would sell that oil in U.S. dollars. That made them our greatest ally. If the petrodollar were to collapse, the U.S. economy would have collapsed. Now things are changing now that people are going to different forms of energy, and there's other reasons why different countries may want dollars or not, or there's other things there. But for the longest time, it was our deal with Saudi Arabia, our security agreement with them. We provided them with security. They provided oil in dollars. That is what kept our economy strong, not Israel. Israel had nothing to do with our economy. In fact, they're a drain on our economy because they take our money. Saudi Arabia is our greatest ally in the Middle East. So what is it exactly that Israel offers us? Are they our greatest trade partner? No, they're not. In fact, Lindsey Graham is on television threatening our greatest trade partners with annihilation if they don't support Israel. So make some sense of this somewhere, somehow. Where the only thing that makes sense, the only way that Israel is our greatest ally is that Israel is the greatest ally to our politicians, keeping them in power through funding their campaigns or ousting their political opponents or blackmailing, running running pedo operations in order to blackmail certain politicians and people in power using rings like Epstein. I mean, that is what they've done for us. And yet, here's Lindsey Graham threatening our border, our neighbor, Canada. We share a humongous border with Canada, and yet here's Lindsey Graham wanting to turn them into an enemy. I mean, is this good American policy? Is this America first? I mean, this just is absolute absurdity. We're clearly bought off. Our country is for sale. It's been for sale for a long time. It's up for sale for many entities that want to buy it. Israel bought it, along with many others. They're not the only ones. Big Pharma's bought it. The military industrial complex has bought it. But Israel has certainly bought it. And we Americans need to be waking up to this and demanding that this type of rhetoric does not come from our politicians. He needs to be America first, not Israel first, but America first. And claiming that he wants to crush European economies all in the name of Israel only hurts Americans. That will come back to bite us. That will collapse our economy. But Lindsey Graham doesn't care. Anything and everything for Israel. Anything and everything for Israel. Speaking of the United States of Israel, here's something really bizarre. Florida has now unveiled a new license plate. Check out this license plate. Does this look strange to you? This license plate? Where's the American flag? Oh no, the Israeli flag. Oh, it's the Israeli flag with Florida. This is real. These license plates are now being unveiled in Florida. It's the Florida Stands with Israel specialty license plate. It's soon going to be seen on cars all across the state. 3,000 sales have already been made, which met the threshold for them to start production of the plates. The license plates are going to be available in early 2025 for $66.90. I'm surprised they're not for sale for $10.07. That includes your registration, according to the IAC. $25 from each license plate is going to Hatzala, South Florida, which is an organization. Ron DeSantis said, "I'm pleased to announce that Florida Stands with Israel license plate has reached the threshold for production. Florida and Israel share a special bond and lasting friendship." I got a great idea. Why don't we it's about like same shape, kind of similar, right? You could see it where Florida maybe could be Israel. We just move Israel over to Florida, give them Florida. Let them have it, and solves it. If you want peace in the Middle East, why don't we just swap out the land? Give them Florida. No big deal. Here you go. Here's your new homeland. Clearly, we've even already started production of the license plates. You don't even have to change out the American flag for the Israeli flag. It's already been done. Don't worry about it. Just unbelievable. This, by the way, I looked this up to verify this had not been done for Ukraine, because you would think that there would have been some state somewhere that says, okay, stand with Ukraine sort of license plate. But no, that has not happened. You can buy the license plate frame that has the Ukrainian flag or I stand with Ukraine. And a lot of people have done the frame that go around the license plate. But it's a whole nother ballgame to actually change the license plate to have the flag of a foreign country on it. That is what this is. That's what this is. And yes, it has the Star of David. You can say, well, but that's, a Jewish symbol. Yeah, but with the blue and the white, and then down at the bottom, they put the ocean instead of the blue for the Israeli flag. I mean, that's the Israeli flag on an American license plate. This is absurd. This is absurd. Make America great again, right? America first, says Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Florida is now Israel. Israel light. I don't know. Hey, maybe that'll be the next land grab. Will be Florida. We just give it to him, though. It's fine. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a clip from the longer, larger show that you can catch Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, at KimIversonShow.com. That'll route you to the platform where you need to be in order to get the full uncensored show every Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Click on that link. Watch the full interview. See you there.